Hi friends, in today's video, I will be showing you how to solve step by step given indical or exponential equation, making use of some of the rules that governs exponent. So here we have that if 9 raised to power 2x plus 1 is the same as 81 raised to power x minus 2 divided by 3 raised to power x, that we should obtain the value of x. So to solve equations such as this, the first step you take is to try to reconcile or make all the bases in the given terms of the equation to be the same. Here, the base in this side of the equation is 9, but in the other side of the equation, the base here is 81 and the base here is also 3. So since they are not the same, we try to reconcile or make all the bases in this expression to be the same. Now, let's get straight down into the video. Now, you might recall that this 9 can be written as 3 times 3, and this is the same thing as saying 3 raised to power 2. Also, 81 can also be written as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, and this is the same thing as 3 raised to power 4. That is 3 multiply this 4 times will give us 81. So what we do now is to replace this 9 by 3 raised to power 2 and also replace this 81 here by 3 raised to power 4. In other words, 9 raised to power 2x plus 1 to be the same thing as 81 raised to power x minus 2 divided by 3 raised to power x. We reduce to 3 raised to power 2. Here, I'm replacing this 9 here with 3 raised to power 2, then all multiplied by 2x plus 1. And this will be the same thing as, so in place of 81, we replace it by 3 raised to power 4 or raised to power x minus 2. Remember that this is divided by 3 raised to power x. So at this junction, we then reconcile the powers, making use of the power law. Remember that the power law states that if I have maybe a raised to power x or raised to power y, that this will be the same thing as a raised to power x, y. In other words, I will obtain the product of the individual powers. And if I do that, it means that I'm going to use this 2 here to multiply this power. I will also use this 4 here to multiply this power. Then, this will reduce, if we apply the power law, to 3. So here, 2 will be used to multiply 2x plus 1. And if we do that, we have 2 times 2x. This will give us 4x plus 2 times 1 will give us 2. And this will be the same thing as here. This is the base. Then I will then have 4 times x. This is 4x minus 4 times 2. This is 8. Remember, here is divided by 3 raised to power x. So at this junction, we observe from this side of the equation that we have division. So that means that we are also going to apply the division law that governs exponent. And remember that if I have, for instance, a raised to power x all divided by a raised to power y, that this will be the same thing as a raised to power x minus y. In other words, I will subtract the power at the denominator level from the power at the numerator level since they are of the same base. And if I do that, it will then imply that 3 raised to power 4x plus 2 will be the same thing as 3 raised to power, the numerator first, 4x minus 8. Then I will then subtract the power at the denominator, which is x, and I will then have minus x. And this will then imply that 3 raised to power 4x plus 2 will be the same thing as 3 raised to power 4x minus x will give us 3x minus 8. So this, when we apply both the power law and division law, this equation reduced to 3 raised to power 4x plus 2 to be the same thing as 3 raised to power 3x minus 8. So at this junction, we then equate the powers. Recall that if I have, or we have something like a raised power x to be the same thing as a raised power y, this implies and is implied by that x is equals to y. So when I have an initial equation expressed in this form, such that the base in the left-hand side is the same as the base in the right-hand side, then the powers will be the same. So if we should apply this, we then have that 4x plus 2, which is the power this side, will be the same thing as 3x minus 8, which is the power in the other side of the equation. So at this junction now, if we should subtract 3 from both sides of the equation, and at the same time also subtract 2 from both sides of the equation, we then have that 4x minus 3x will be the same thing as minus 8 minus 2. And this will imply 4x minus 3x is x, that x will be the same thing as minus 8 minus 2, which is minus 10. So what it means is that the value of x that satisfies this given initial equation is x equals to minus 10. Keep practicing and see you in the next lesson.